Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Chrono Trigger vs. Super Nintendo Entertainment System. In the last video, which was also the first video, we explored the world around us. Obviously that brown place with all the balloons, what looked like balloons, is where it's supposed to go. I explored everything else other than that, just to show all that off, because who knows when we'll be seeing it ever again. I mean, we will, but it is actually kind of fun to explore the place. Speaking of places that we need to explore, I'll explore the mayor's manor a little later. For now, I'm going to go ahead and go to Lean Square, which is where the Millennial Fair is taking place. At the start of the game, we found out that the Millennial Fair is happening today, and that we're heading there. Because. And that our friend Luca has a nice little invention that she's showing off over there as well. So let's go up to it and press A when we get to Lean Square. And from here we can talk to people and have some fun. Welcome to the Millennial Fair. Have fun. Indeed I will. This is Lean Square. They say people who hear Lean's bell will have interesting and happy lives. I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce the name. I don't know if it's Lean or it's supposed to be Lene. I'm just gonna call it Lean, because that's what I always called it as a kid. I heard Luca and her dad have made another crazy invention. Hope it doesn't blow up like all the others. I heard this guy pays big bucks for charms, weapons, pendants, and other rarities. And buy something from Melchior, the swordsmith? Well, let's see what he has. I know we won't have much, but well, there's the iron blade, but I don't want to buy that just yet. I live on the continent to the east. Come see me sometime. We will eventually see him on the continent to the east. If you talk to this vendor, you'll get some armor. And both of them are pretty good. We have a karate gi and a bronze helm. Not much of a reason to buy those yet, but we eventually will. And this is the item vendor. You can buy tonics, which restore 50 HP. There's heal, which restores status, basically cures status ailments. Revive revives an ally, and Shelter recovers HP and MP at save points. We already have one from opening a chest in the previous video. The items here, I believe some of them do go by different names, but they still have the same function. I know that some of the items were renamed in the Steam version as well as the DS version, but you'll be able to know which one is which if you remember what they do. Those runners are busy racing, so they don't talk to you. And there's a high striker. Haven't seen one since Leisure Suit Larry Wet Dreams Don't Dry. Press the A button while facing the bell. Judge your distance carefully and press the A button again. So press A once you're in front of it. And if you're all the way back, impressive. I'll put 1 silver point on your card. You cannot tell. Okay, first of all, silver points, you use those to trade for things. And the more silver points you have, the more cool things you can do at the Millennial Fair. And there's no way to tell right off the bat how many you have, though somebody will tell you how many you have if you talk to them. The kingdom's been through a lot, like the war against Magus 400 years ago. Thank goodness things are so peaceful now. We Apparently find out about the place's past. What's the big deal? So what if we won a war against a wizard hundreds of years ago? Maybe you wouldn't be here right now if y'all lost. If you talk to this guy, the Steel Runner might try something. He'll favor a different person depending on who or when you talk to him. It's completely random. The Green Ambler is a reptilian looking dude. The green reptilian looking dude. And apparently he was right about the Green Ambler. And if you... well, let's let these guys line up a little bit, and we'll get their names. Cadillac is the cat. And apparently he doesn't say random things. He just picks one every single time. Alright then. And once everybody starts running, you'll have to wait for them to all make a complete lap around this little area before you can bet on who you want to bet on. Last round's winner, Steel Runner. Guess the winner? Sure. So Steel Runner, okay. First of all, the names are the names of everybody from left to right, respectively. So the guy with the big gray steel suit of armor is Steel Runner. Green Ambler is a green reptilian dude. Cadillac is the cat. And G.I. Jogger is the soldier guy in the blue and green. I'm going to go ahead and pick Cadillac. And then you can wait for them to start. And now he's saying Steel Runner. You know what? I'll just go ahead and pick Steel Runner. Now you could watch them, but if you know what you're doing, you can easily just get in the way of everyone else. Really? I was so close. I know you win silver points from doing this. Let's go ahead and speak to this guy again. I'll go ahead and pick Cadillac. Sometimes that guy is right, sometimes he's not. Now what you can do is hold B and run into everyone, and you can actually slow them down this way and get in their way, though it doesn't always seem to work. Maybe I should just not do this at all, because now I'm just making everything worse on myself. But it is a thing that you can do. Let's go ahead and pick Cadillac. And this time not mess with the whole thing. Let's just stand. Are you kidding me? Of course Cadillac will be the slowest one right out of the gate. Well, whatever. If you pick the right person, you get silver points. But man, this is a hard way to get them. And also, there's this little tent here. This is the renowned Tent of Horrors. Spend your 1 silver points here. Parental discretion advised. Parental discretion isn't really advised. I'll show that off a little later once I get some more silver points. For now, let's just go over here and there's a girl walking around. Well, if you run into her, just by walking into her... Hey! Ouch, that hurt. I'm so sorry, are you okay? Uh-oh, my pendant. Well, she has to see if you're okay. Go talk to her and give her and extend her the same courtesy. Oh no, don't tell me I lost it. Then you pick up the pendant by walking up to it and pressing A, and then talking to her. Keep this in mind for later. Oh, thank goodness. My pendant. It has a lot of sentimental value. May I have it back? Yes. I came to see the festival. You live in this town, don't you? I feel a little out of place here. Would you mind if I walked around with you for a while? Sure. Why not? You actually have to do this to advance the plot. You're a true gentleman. Oh, by the way, my name is and this is Marley, and we are keeping Marley's name the way it is. Though don't be surprised if I call her Marl, because that's how kid me always pronounced it. Marley, and you're Chrono? What a nice name. Pleased to meet you. Now lead on. Now, believe it or not, you can leave this area with her, and I plan on doing just that to show some stuff off. Where's my cat? Well, we know where the cat is, or at least I know where the cat is. You have to go all the way over here to the left. Press A when you're near the cat, and you can just lead the cat to the little girl. The tracking on the cat isn't too bad, but I do walk just to make it a little easier. Now we have the cat here. Let's talk to the little girl again. You brought me my cat. Thank you. You're so sweet, Chrono. Now you can't talk to the cat again, but the cat will stay there. It helps a little bit to help find the cat. And if you talk to this guy, it's a soda guzzling contest. Press the A button as fast as you can. Ready, set, go. Really? Here I was thinking I could actually get all 8 cans. You do get silver points for this. There we go. Had to press it just a little bit faster. But for doing that, you get 5 silver points every time you successfully do this. I could never do that as a kid. And finding out it only gave you 5 silver points. Yeah, that disappointed adult me later on. And from here, you can do some dancing. A prehistoric dance. How enchanting. There's a lot of things here that in 1000 AD, at this point in the game, that you don't even have to even look at or go to or do to even complete the game. Like, it's just completely meaningless, but it's cool looking at it all and showing it all off. After pressing the B button and dashing here and there, I'm pooped. But this dance has rejuvenated me. Yeah, if you hold B while moving, you can run. Catchy rhythm. Use the X, Y, L, and R buttons to dance. Here's X. Here's Y. Here's L. And here's R. And if you talk to the people here, they just sing. They just sing the same 2 words. And good for you for getting some spending money from the Elder. Do you all say the same thing? Yes, you do. Anyway, yep, the cat comes back. And we can't go over here yet. They're still setting up. Why don't you come back in a while? I hate fairs. Say, do you know the latest gossip? No. Just between us, I heard the king is distressed over his tomboy of a daughter. Just once I would like to see how wild she really is. What happens if we say yes? Then scram! Rude! And, yeah, another person who tells you how many silver points you have. And you can exchange 10 silver points for 50 gold. So you can exchange them for money. Also, this old man. There is a pink sack over there with his lunch. If you talk to him, he tells you it's his lunch. No time to talk, I'm just sitting down for my lunch. Even though you're walking back and forth, and you can walk around us if we are in your way. You can walk up to it and press A and eat it and get some hilarious dialogue from Marla. But this works against you later on. And I'll explain when the time comes. Keep going if you want the demo Locust Robot Battle Trainer. Collect silver points if you win. And if you do that, we're going to have our first battle. If we beat Gato, we'll get 15 silver points for our efforts. And this is where I start mentioning the basics of the battle system. Oh. I should probably wait. Ow. Until I have... There we go. Now I can press pause. So, on the left, you get to see what the names of the enemies that you're facing. And on the right is your current characters, their HP, and their MP. And to the far right, those little gauges are the time gauges. When one is completely filled up, you can perform an action with that character. You have 3 actions to choose from. There's attack, which lets you attack. There's tech, which lets you perform skills and magic that cost MP to use. And item, which lets you use an item. And we got a critical hit right there. I can tell because the screen briefly flashed white when Marl used her crossbow. And now he's moving around. I got another one? 10 experience points. 10 experience points let you level up. Tech points, got 1 tech point. Those let you learn spells. If enemies have gold, they'll drop that too. And if they have items, they'll drop those as well. And if anybody leveled up, the game will tell you, and you'll get a sound cue telling you, hey, somebody leveled up. Now, this is one of the few battles you can lose in and still continue the game with. But we managed to get 15 silver points, which is excellent. If we want to fight Gato for more silver points again, we can just leave and come back. No big deal. And now that we've done the battle stuff, at least the battle basics, we can do other things. One thing you can do with Marl at your side is talk to Melchior. Let's pick no thanks. By the way, could you talk that young lady into selling her pendant? No! She said that it was of sentimental value. Do not do this. And I think if you talk to enough people around here, they'll tell you, hey... Oh, they tell you this. They have to be ready now. Make for the far side of the square. This is going to be fun. Come on, Chrono. Now, when you do this, you'll be able to head to the steps finally. But, hold your horses. I want to get some candy. Now, you can move around while doing this. If you press down, though, Marl will stop you, and you'll have the weight on her. Thankfully, this does not take long, so I don't know why you'd want to press down. But if you do press down, it works against you later on. I will mention why when the time comes. Hi, I like some of this. Sure, young lady. Thanks for waiting. And now that that's taken care of, we might as well go ahead and actually I might as well show off the Tent of Horrors. We have 21 silver points here. I'll show off one of the games at the very least. Welcome to Nornstein Beckler's Lab. The spine-tingling show is about to start. How many silver points would you like to pay? So, depending on how many you have, you'll get a different game each time. I know that for 10, you'll play this game where 3 soldiers come out. I'm Viggs. I'm Wedge. I'm Piet. Vix is supposed to be Biggs. And, yeah, it's a reference to the Imperial soldiers, or some Imperial soldiers, in the original Star Wars trilogy. And these guys walk around. Well, I know it's not going to be him because it's going to be Piet. I'm going to say it's this guy. We asked to find Vix, and I'm Vix. Is it that obvious? No. It's a Pizzoyo doll. It'll spruce up your room. And that gives me another excuse to show something else off. Yes, we can leave the fair with Marla. And if we go back to our room, we can talk to this Pizzoyo doll like we can any other character and get some music out of it. That's not all, though. When you have a party member with you, you can talk to Chrono's mom. This is completely optional. You don't have to do this, but if you do, my, how nice. I've only seen you with Luca. Who's your pretty new friend? Hi, I'm Marla. Marla? I'm sure I've seen you before, dear. Now, where was that? And you can introduce your mother to everyone in your party, which is pretty neat. Also, everybody has different animations when you stand about on the world map screen. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to the mayor's manor. Hi, do you know about our establishment? Well, I know you exist, but that's about it. This is the Mayor's Education Center. Think of it as a workshop for beginners. You can take the things you find here. Need a brief weapons and item seminar? Yes. Weapons include swords, bows, and guns. Some weapons can only be used by specific party members. Basically, there are multiple weapon types, and only one person can use each weapon type. For example, Chrono can only use samurai swords or katanas, while Marla can only use crossbows. You'll find a variety of armor for the head and body. Finally, there are numerous accessories with unique properties and effects. As you gain power, swords will inflict greater damage. Bows and guns get more powerful as your hit rate increases. Yep, you have to increase your accuracy to get better with projectile weapons for those who have them. And this contains a tonic, which restores 50 HP. You can walk while reading messages, but go too far and you can miss them. Indeed you can. Apparently I didn't go far enough. Use the Y button to move the message/battle window up or down. Like so. Scattered throughout this world are places where you can save your game. Save whenever you can, especially in unfamiliar or dangerous areas. That's just a replica. Bleh. That's just a replica. Record your journey whenever you find the real McCoy. You'll find more of them in riskier areas. Also, remember that you can log in anywhere on the world map. So yeah, you can save any time on the world map. Also, these things produce a little tinkling sound when you walk across the real ones. Keep that in mind. Do you know about shelters? They're quite useful. Let's learn more. Use shelters at save points or on the world map to completely restore HP and MP. Yeah, they're the only two places where you can use them, and if you select yes, you just get nothing. And there's a chest here which contains 100G. Alright, I'll teach you about skills. Are you willing to learn? Yes. During combat, the effect of each attack can vary. First, some of your attacks will damage more than one enemy. For example, target this critter, and your attack will hit another monster in the area. But if you target this one, you can get all three at once. Use this fact to your advantage. So, you do have some techniques that are area of effect. They are AoEs. I'll mention them when the time comes. Next, you can hit enemies in your direct line of sight. There are two attack patterns. The first one allows you to attack all the enemies oriented on a straight line from you. You may place the cursor on any one of them on the line. The other pattern allows you to hit only enemies in a straight line between you and the target. As in the previous example, all three creatures are targeted here, but you don't want to hit the one in the front. You want to hit the one in the back. Select this one and that's all you get. So yeah, pay attention to stuff and you'll be able to hit as many enemies as possible. Next, use an enemy to establish a line, and any others on it will also be hit. They're lined up horizontally here, so you may target any of them. The final pattern puts you at the center of the attack zone. You can't use an attack like this if your enemies are outside of the zone. However, your attack will hit all enemies inside the active zone. So there are two kinds of AoE attacks. We've already seen the first one where we can use it on a group of enemies at any given time. But this second type, the enemies all have to come to you before you can use it. There's a few techniques like this, and I'll mention them eventually. That's about it. Feel more confident? Well, yes, actually. But my advice? Yes, you've got potential. You'll learn a number of techniques as you progress. Techniques are magic attacks that also utilize your weapons. You'll acquire them with discipline. Hold down the L and R buttons to escape from battle. Know when to run, but you need to fight to grow strong. Now about the equip menu. Numbers next to the sword and shield icons indicate attack and defense power. The higher the number, the greater the power. M defense, M def, indicates your ability to block magic attacks. If it's 10, then magic damage will be reduced by 10%. A star after any characteristic means it's at its maximum strength. Want to learn about damage in battle? Yes. Some monsters have special attacks and can cause you to suffer status ailments. Poison. HP slowly decreases. Your attacks are weakened. Poison is indicated by the blue bubbles. Slow increases the time between attacks. This basically makes your time gauge fill up much more slowly. And if your silhouette slowly flashes white, you've been hit with slow. Sleep lowers your guard. A good hit will wake you up again. Obviously, your character, if hit by sleep, will be lying down and you'll see the Z's. Chaos confuses you into attacking allies, a little tough on friendships. The Chaos status ailment is indicated by the star above the character's head, and while they may attack you, they can still attack the enemies, though it may be a little weaker. blind. You can't see too well. It's hard to hit enemies. The I and the X indicates the blind. In case you are blinded, it is a little harder to hit enemies, but not impossible. Though it's always easier to hit enemies with magic. But yeah, it does get harder to hit enemies with physical attacks because you have a higher chance of missing. Lock. Can't use any techniques. Lock is indicated by the question mark above the character's head, and when under lock, you can only perform physical attacks and you can only use items. Thankfully, this, like all other status ailments, can be healed. Stop. Immobilizes and disables you. Indicated by the stopwatch above the character's head. The only way to get out of this is to have somebody use a status ailment clearing item in order to get rid of stop. Once you get rid of stop on somebody, they'll be able to do things again. In these situations, your guard is down, and you'll sustain more damage. Use heal, or wait until the battle ends to heal automatically. Would you like to hear more? Yes. When your HP hits 0, you'll be disabled. Use revive to restore yourself, but if everyone goes down, you're through. Be careful. And that is it for the tutorial museum in this area. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and explain even more things by going through the Guardia Forest. First off, there's a twinkle right there in the upper right-hand corner. Didn't know if you could see it. Does this make a noise? It doesn't make a noise. But if you pay attention, you can find twinkles like this on the ground. If you get near them, you can pick them up with A and get things like a power tab. A power tab increases your power by 1. So I might as well go ahead and go through the menu, one screen by one. We can move across these with left and right on the control pad. We can press B to back out of the menu, back into gameplay. Or we can press A to select something. The first part, the first section, is your character menu, where you can see what your characters have equipped, what their levels are, their stats, their experience, how much time you spent playing the game, and how much gold you have. And if you press A on a character, you can equip new things on them if you need to. You can see their HP and their MP, and you can see their physical attack power and their defense. So, for example, Chrono has a physical attack power of 8 and a defense of 16. Going by the sword and shield there. Also, the music here is really neat, and I really need to put it in the description. Next up is the item menu, where you can see what everything does. Useful items as well as key items will be here. You have two options, which is use and move, which lets you move things with the D-pad up and down and the A button. And you can press B to back out. And there's organize, which lets you organize things automatically. You'll have your useful healing items first, followed by some special items, and then weapons and armor. There's a lot of room in the inventory, but you're not going to be needing all of it. I don't know why the game gives you so much room. It'll take a while to go all the way down, but you eventually will. Anyway, let's go ahead and use that power tab. If a item name is yellow, you can use it right now. So if you wanted to, we could heal ourselves with the tonic, even though the game wouldn't let us because our health is full. But we can use the power tab. I'm going to go ahead and use it on Chrono because Chrono is the much stronger character of the two, and it'll be more useful on him. Marley, not as powerful as Chrono with the bow. And again, you need to bring up accuracy if you really want to do something with the bow. Let's go ahead and organize again, and then go to our next menu, which is attack. From here, you can check out a character with up and down and the A button, and you can see what spells you have. The single attacks, those are the ones that you can use on your own. We need 4 more skill points to learn Cyclone. And there are also 2 techs and 3 techs. There's single techs, double techs, or dual techs, and triple techs. By learning individual single techs with each character, you can unlock dual techs. And eventually, triple techs as well, which require the use of techniques by all 3 members of the party, as opposed to dual, which uses just 2. And we'll need 9 tech points to restore some of somebody's HP with Aura. And of course, Cyclone is an area of effect attack where you attack multiple enemies in a short circular distance. Spin cut nearby enemies. We'll be showing the spells off once we get them, and I do want to get them here, just to show them off. And new enemy here, Hatake, and there's a critical hit there. When Chrono leaps towards the enemy as opposed to running towards them, that's when you know he's on a critical hit. And the enemies here, pretty weak. You don't really have to fight them, especially at this point in the game, but it's worth it. And 9 experience points and 3 tech points and 48 gold. And a tonic. Nice. So we're now getting gold and experience. No, not experience. Well, we are getting experience points. We are getting gold and 9 from enemies now. And we are now fighting new enemies. The bugs. They're also pretty weak too. Actually, they're called beetles. There's another bug style enemy that looks like this called bug, and we won't see them until later on. Yes, we will be doing things in this game. And these guys just have to walk up to you and to hit you. So, not really good in that scheme of things. And Chrono's level has gone up because we've gotten to 10 experience points. And we've learned Cyclone. And Marley's level is up. But we haven't learned Aura yet. So, if you haven't figured it out already, enemy encounters are not random. You'll actually see them on the screen, and you have a choice of whether or not to run into them. And if you run into them, you'll be able to do a battle. Anyway, Avian Chaos. You want to take care of them as soon as possible because they can cast chaos in your party. And we got a little more experience from finding these things. Just a little bit more. And Marley has Aura. And by learning Cyclone with Chrono and Aura with Marla, we've learned our first dual attack, Aura Whirl. So we've already seen Cyclone. I used it against the Avian Chaos and that beetle. And it uses... okay, it uses 4 MP. No, it uses 2. Yeah, it uses 2. And we'll need 82 for Slash, but that'll be a while. 47 for Provoke. Provoke confuses enemies and casts chaos on them. I don't use it very often. And Slash is a slash attack. It's one of those attacks where you have to line up enemies in order to hit multiples of them at the same time. It's not the AoE style attack like Cyclone is. Anyway, I should probably pause right here. So because we have at least one dual tech, when you're able to get both Chrono and Marley's time gauges filled up, tech will turn into combination. It still acts like it always does, but you are now able to use a double technique or a dual tech. I'm going to show off Aura first. That uses 2 MP, I think. And now let's use Aura Whirl. Okay, it uses 1, apparently. Yeah, it uses just 1 MP. So, Aura Whirl, we learned that after learning Cyclone with Chrono and Aura with Marl. And by using Aura Whirl, Chrono uses 2 MP to cast Cyclone, and Marl uses 1 MP to cast Aura. At the same time, to perform and do a healing attack, or rather a healing spell, that heals the entire party. Yeah, make sure you have enough MP for both people before performing a dual tech or triple tech. We will learn other dual techs and triple techs as we go further and further into the game, and learn more spells and techniques. I don't know why it took me so long to think of that and say that. I had the thought in my head, and it's just... brain just wants to do one thing, and mouth wants to do another, I guess. Left hand just doesn't know what the right hand wants to do. And yeah, not much to show off around here. And you probably already know what we're getting just by going through here. And there's a sign. Approaching Guardia Castle. No trespassing. We've seen a castle over there before. An open field lies ahead. But there's nothing there. Except this. Sealed with a mysterious energy. Once again, we can't open that. Also, you can go to the castle, but there's not much of a reason to do so. Who's there? Come on, let's check out the fair. If you go there alone as Chrono, the soldiers speak, and they just tell you to leave. And just to let you know that, hey, you can avoid battles. Just like that. And hey, we already had all the battles that we could have in the forest. Awesome! So I've talked about single techs and dual techs and triple techs. We've mentioned stuff. Trying to think of what to say here at the moment. We're finally able to see Luca's invention, and I've showed off the very basics of battling and everything. What do I have in my inventory? I know I have plenty of tonics. I have 4 tonics. I guess I could show off using an item just to be on the safe side, because I haven't shown that off yet. So let's do that. And let's fight Gato again. Now, if we attack Gato, he's obviously going to hit back. So that absolutely hurt. But we can use an item just by picking item, pressing A on what we want, and then moving the cursor to who we want to use it on with the D-pad, and selecting with A. Just like that. And apparently he had more HP than I thought he did. And man, he is just laying it on with the strikes, and I don't even know why you're attacking me. But we got 10 more experience points, another tech point. Chrono is now at level 3. Marley is at level 3, even though we don't need them to be at this level at this point in the game. And we have another 15 silver points. I will show off the other games at the Tent of Horrors eventually. For now, I do want to go over here up the stairs, because that's where Luca's invention is going to be. And we're going to do that in the next video. So join me next time where we really get going with the story of this game and head up the stairs to check out Luca's invention. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!